Welcome back, everyone. We just saw 13-8 go the way of QOR against Oxygen. And guys, this is exactly what we were all expecting was going to happen, right, Wyatt?
Yes, totally. If you check the predictions, literally everybody picked QOR, the obvious winner. What's the next map? Is this over? What are we going to? Did they pick this? All right, at least the next is Sunset, and they picked that. I had to double check that that wasn't their map pick. Yeah, surely they win 2-1 from here. Now that was, listen, that was not the Oxygen that we are used to seeing. And on the other side, QOR played an extremely solid game, which is basically what I'm used to seeing from them, though this was that elevated to the next level, like clear signs of improvement. They have been fundamentally good and had a strong foundation this whole season. This is the first time I'm seeing them kind of taking that to the next level.
It is what we talked about, right? If you are that team that's kind of in the middle, 2-2, trying to stay on top and trying to end up positive for the split, these are the kind of teams that you have to win against. And we were wondering, and I was wondering specifically why QOR were going with this map that was so good in the past for Oxygen, which was the map that they won against Moist Shopify. But then QOR really proved us and give us a reason why they were punishing the aggression that we were seeing on the defense by Oxygen. They were finding their own aggressive style when they had to play and go for the side hit. And it was just something that was happening constantly, Gompers. It started coming a little bit close. Oxygen were getting a couple rounds in that second half, but it really seems like the whole time it was QOR playing their own game and playing to what they were practicing in the past.
Yeah, and for QOR too, man, I mean, obviously you're able to see the MVP, the difference of just how much impact Nerve had on the Omen alone. But I think overall for QOR, like, first of all, sorry, QOR, I didn't believe in you that first map because we all, I know we talked briefly about Oxygen and the dominance there, but like, honestly, this took me by stride. Like, I felt like I saw a completely different QOR than the one that I was used to. You know, and it's not that this team wasn't good. It's just that this team really didn't shine above what Oxygen typically does. And now we finally get a hint of what they are actually capable of. Obviously, I feel like majority of the time they read this team like a book. There were plays in there that I was a little sussed out by, but I think that's just the journey of finding out your own colors and your own voice throughout Challengers, which overall, I mean, great game played.
And it was, as we remember, it was actually QOR picking this map and picking the defensive side, something that we actually see happening the other way, right? Teams wanting and trusting a lot more in their attacking side with the way that the map plays out. But no, it was a very confident defense, especially because they were shutting down the aggression that was being put up by Oxygen on that A hit that we often see. And it was, you know, the Viper wall slowing it down. It was the aggression being shut down over and over again. And again, we do see the evolution that they've had from the week number 1 to this last week number 5, but now we're going into a map number 2 of Sunset. Wyatt, is this a crazy 2-0 upset?
I would surely not. And we're going to Oxygen's map pick.
Surely not.
And honestly, I do think I think they could definitely, not even could definitely, they needed a little break between the maps, because I think the way they started off that first map, there were moments to me that were giving, like, we just know we're better than these guys. I'm just going to swing this.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I agree.
They were losing unnecessary players at times. And then also, the main thing was, like, they were struggling so hard in post plants too on that map. There were 7 retakes for QOR on the first half that were successful. But I think that just kind of got them off on the wrong foot, and they were never really able to recover from there. I think they needed that time between maps to get, like, an actual reset here, head into their map pick, kind of just approach like, all right, this is basically just the start of the series. Like, we messed that one up bad. We know that's not our level of play. Hit the reset button.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I was saying, you know, punishing the aggression of Oxygen and all that, but the truth is, yeah, there were a lot of times where it seems like an overconfident Oxygen was swinging and trying to take advantage of those situations, and Core was there and ready to punish it. Same as we saw in that first series of today with the way that Sad was playing, right? Just waiting for the aggression, waiting for the mistakes to happen on the other side, and that is what at the end gave them that win. So now, Gompers, as we jump into the second map, this is actually a map of Santa that we did get the chance to see last week for both of the teams. There's just a slight difference when it comes to the initiators, where Core play with the Sova. They really like playing around with the Sova, and on the other side you have a KO and a Breach and played instead. So do you think this should go once again the way of Oxygen, as it is their map pick and they found success in the past?
Oh man, but pulling a white right now. I don't want to answer this.
I'm gonna go with Oxygen on this map.
Yeah,
I think they got the reset. They're on their map pick. I think they're going to ensure they're not like messing around doing anything wrong. I think they'll come into this playing way stronger.
I'm gonna say I have to go with Oxygen because they were originally my pick for who I thought was gonna win. And I'm not gonna piggyback off something else because I'm loyal. I'm loyal to my picks. But I will have to say I do think Core is gonna put up a hell of a fight. I think their performance with the Sova was definitely impressive enough to say the least, especially with the hands that they were dealt. But yeah, I'm excited to see that sunset.
Well, let's jump into the agents. So let's see if anything's new. I do expect the compositions to be the same as I just mentioned it. They did play this map, both of them, last week. And yeah, the difference here, as you see, it is the initiator, where on the side of Core, you're going to have the Breach and the Sova. On the other side, you're going to have the KO and the Breach instead. So that Sova KO difference could absolutely be a difference maker for this series. Core absolutely expecting and hoping to close it out, into Oxygen trying to fight to go in the long run, take us to that third map and close it then. And then, casters, I'll leave it to you.
The Core Gaming Oxygen Esports semi-mirror composition. Obviously, Mitch taking in that role of KO, which, listen, I'm not going to lie, I do like that a lot more than the Sova Wyatt. I think it's going to have a lot more impact. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm just not a huge fan of Sova on most maps in this meta right now. But also, listen, one of the cool things about Valorant is if you really want to, if you feel mega comfortable on an agent and you're cooking up your own stuff with it, you can make it work. I mean, we've seen this with Sova in other cases, like EG last year.
Yeah,
do you remember how dominant they were on Fracture? No one played Sova on that map. And Calm was just coming up with so much unique stuff as far as lineups for the Recon, angles for the Hunter's Fury. And it was ruining teams. No one could beat them on that map, and no one else mirrored their comp. So you can never really completely write something off in Valorant. But if you're just looking at the standard meta, there becomes a pretty evident hierarchy, but the right player can break that hierarchy apart and shatter it like glass. So we'll see. T-Dog was able to put up some, I mean, I'm not going to say like great numbers, but it's rather he was putting up like important plays. He was making impact plays in that last game with his utility that were paying dividends. And we'll see if he can do the same thing here. Though, yeah, typically we're going to see the KO on this map. I think on paper, if you're just looking at the agents in a vacuum, I would prefer the KO. And typically with the KO, I kind of like to see a Gecko, but the Breach is certainly strong on this map, good in the execute. So we'll see what Oxygen have prepped with this. As it looks like they're going to go for a 4-1 split with Dapper working late market. Now going to opt to just group up with the team, actually prodding mid just a little bit, leaving that trip on A. Now they're going to send in the full execute with those trips nullified by that knife.
Even now, they've especially put down, at least T-Dog now taking out Redux, so.
Oh, that was a huge shock.
Yeah, losing out on that. But again, I mean, we know the capabilities of the shock darts coming through from T-Dog, which is kind of what makes him so special. But like you did talk about previously with like, you know, just knowing your stuff. And I feel like here, Core definitely fitting into that perspective, able to understand what game they want to be played. Now just having to make sure that they can keep this coverage. Verno somehow just making the shots happen. Although halfway through, finding 2 of their own and closing things out for that first round.
Genuinely, that shock damage at the end kind of paying off. Those 2 players were so weak because of the shock dart just hit them full on with 3 players from Oxygen were all caught walking up the stairs, that little enclosed space. And also Mitch just, my man leapt into that bullet. Like, that was not intended for him at all. And he just swung straight into a headshot accidentally. Well done, though, from QOR, already able to carry the momentum over. T-Dog, Sova paying off, good shock damage, and it helps that he got a fully blind kill. But Oxygen now relegated to 4 classics, 1 sheriff on the board. Again, working towards this B site. Now looks like they're going for a full split with a paranoia swing.
Down B.
They did not let them even do anything about that. If anything, big early access, you know, to just getting that spike as well. They got 2 players scattered throughout the B site, not even knowing where anybody is, of course, listening to T-Dog. I'm surprised they didn't rush that. That would have been huge.
1 enemy remaining.
It's going to be Dapper cleaned up, and T-Dog thinking that that last player would be lurking towards the market area, spots him out. And QOR working on what would just be such a massive upset. I believe this would actually put them at 2nd in the standings because they would have the head-to-head against Oxygen, if I'm remembering everything correctly. QOR 2-2, Oxygen are 3-1, and with the head-to-head victory, QOR, a pretty shocking result. People definitely wouldn't have placed them that high going into this season. And right now, week 5, just displaying the improvement that they've been able to have as a squad over these past several weeks.
Yeah, nice takeaway from Mitch, making sure the team doesn't get suppressed early on. So it kind of does allow them that access to do whatever they want. Now they're looking for some sort of workup. You can already see Page Shell kind of laid down. And beautiful shots coming through from Dapper just to take the 2 through smoke.
A few Spectres now remaining for QOR. T-Dog's just gonna fully rotate over at this point. Time to stack up and see if we can make something happen playing in the site together aggressively, fighting close with these SMGs for kills. As if just making sure no one was pushing up towards mid, and Oxygen are just going to fully cut noise here, get the smokes back online, wait this out and make sure that they get a good execute in. Don't be caught off by any players closer. I think that knife might have just missed Elders.
Oh, huge possibility, but I'm still not even looking to reload. Redux doesn't need it. 7 bullets left in the tank, and yeah, again,
he can't help himself. He just has to go for a shot. Literally cannot help himself.
I didn't even realize that. Yeah, he kind of just fought that with the shock dart.
Actual Garden of Eden apple moment. My man cannot resist the juicy fruit. Has to fire off a shot. Literally could just keep his gun out, but you know what? I respect it.
God.
First time now, Oxygen gonna work in a pretty significant way towards A. You can see the breaches lined up here. Can throw out a flash or a fault line off contact on the A side. But Oxygen, they're just going to work up mid here and leave a couple players to watch for an A push. Have it tripped as well, actually.
Okay, well, Snarly is just looking around the corner for anybody to push up, but it seems like here, big information gather. Oh no. Yeah, up to Zeldris to get caught out in that, especially with the showstopper in hand. Unfortunately, lost out on the ultimate, so now you gotta fight back. Some sort of contact positioning with T-Dog, but T-Dog still in an odd place to be. Now, big push coming down towards B, so yeah, info just coming through left and right. Of course, they're having to fight this off by themselves in the one way, just giving them space, but it doesn't matter.
T-Dog with a good position high up right now. If they want, they can play this aggressively while the spike is going down. Snarly, one piece of utility. Smoke just came up for Nerve, regenerated. That's going to be huge. They can just get main smoked off right now, and this should be so easy for them.
Yeah, big pickup. I'm surprised they read so well into the mid push. Everybody just kind of forced themselves alongside there, and T-Dog and Snarly kept that space. But yeah, Core 3-1 surprisingly know how to play this map to a T.
Doing well so far. T-Dog, I like how he's playing towards the A site. He rotated really quickly there to pick up stairs and assist Ziff, who's taking a lot of pressure, anchoring B.
Yes, this should be
I mean, Cypher, of course, is just so strong on this map, and playing around him is crucial here on the defense, and crucial as well as the spy for Oxygen. Their economy kind of in the dumpster right now. If they lose this, they're going to have to be on an eco, and Core seriously building momentum at this point.
Yeah, Zeldris is not feeling too good about where they are. But a huge backup from Core. Despite that, so much util just engaged into this round. Especially if you're Oxygen, still having enough to push themselves onto site, though. Flash readily available from Verna.
Oxygen are going to go ahead. They smoked off a link just then and trying to contact now through here. One flash, actually. Making a little bit of noise, and now they're just going to silently walk off. And actually, because of that lack of info on the hall on the right side of A, Zeldris is kind of playing that passively. They have to be weary that at any moment they could be bursting into that A site there. And now because of the space that Dapper has just been maintaining in B main, they're going to be able to get up close, go for a big execute, and again, pressure on Ziff, the Cypher, anchoring this site.
30 seconds left.
They've already set up a trap for everybody to push themselves onto site, especially now with T-Dog and the recon both set out, but it was a beautiful play. He could have just played off that information, but still everybody's so impatient on the side of Core to just make sure his plant doesn't go down. Paranoia set up, and it's Redux to make the shot happen. 1v3 situation. Now the plant's still looking to make itself happen.
Spike planted.
Zeldris, I mean, quite honestly, has to try to find a way to fight this. Doesn't seem like they can with the contact being played, but yeah, Team Ace already set down in the hands of Oxygen.
Well done from them, Core. Pretty similar again. They are ready to swing for each other when these site execs are coming in. T-Dog popped out of that smoke. Zip was fighting back site, but this time Oxygen were able to cover those angles, win out the duels. So nicely done from them. And as I had said earlier in that round, a crucial one. Their economy was on the line there. And now they're going to build up a little bit of that buffer with 3 players over 2K.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
Redux gets the showstopper ready. So that could be pivotal in this round on a site exec with a little double satchel in. A new setup here on A for Core, actually, is they have the Sova sending an early recon, not something they had done previously.
No, but the flash coming through, and T-Dog not knowing where to hit or really who's where. It kind of leads to an unfortunate takeaway from that. One person left down out of the side of the A site, but they know Snarly's here. They've seen the flash. Now they're not going to see Snarly anymore, just gone from the situation.
Sends out the aftershock. Snarly trying to delay. Zeldris in a lot of trouble now. Pressure from that cage, and here comes the showstopper.
Showstopper set back. They're just looking for something, and they manage to find it. Snarly still stuck onto the site. Is no longer going to be there, but regardless, Core still holding on. They have so much control that they can keep. 2 players just stuck behind box, and if they play this correctly, they know what to do. The head still being seen, and unfortunately for everybody else, already taken out by that Rolling Thunder alone.
Not able to get any kills off of it, but a nice bit of delay. Inferno finds a great timing to peek out of elbow. 3-on-2. Has the stun ready.
Yeah, fault line. Kind of set back this push from Core, but regardless, they're still fighting as hard as they can. They know they need this round to at least put Oxygen back in their place, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be an issue. Still no Paranoia left available. They need to get this cut off down in that half two, but they still can't fight anything forward. It's Verno with the perfect timing.
Well done from Oxygen there at the end of the round. Verno especially, he just found that great timing out of elbow. Get that pick in the 3-on-3, make it a 3-on-2, had the stun ready as well. Crucial in that post plant. One of the young, super talented players that we were talking about in the pre-show. A prospect for so many partnership teams right now. And it's moments like that that He'll just do so consistently. You know, it's of course not the flashiest thing there you've ever seen in the world, but he just comes up with important impact moments at such a consistent rate, and obviously renowned for his Sova play as well, but just the initiators across the board really talented there. And now Core taking a timeout. Oxygen for the I mean, it doesn't even feel right now like I think they're still in the gaining the momentum phase. I don't think they're completely out of the doldrums yet, but they're getting there. They're climbing back.
Yeah, slowly but surely. But at least, you know, there is some level of awareness as to when this team of Core need to take another step up. Obviously, all consecutively saving within this round to make sure they can buy the next Elders, unfortunately. Not having a lot of cash money flow in the bank. So he's going to have to figure that out, you know, alongside the way. But they are sacrificing him. So, yay, Zalstray is down in A.
Shutting them down.
It's going to be 5 sheriffs across the board here for Core.
Cage trigger.
Set up in mid, but smoked off at all angles. That whole defensive side is really gathered up here towards mid. They are ready to just swing together and fight for mid on a moment's notice, popping out from a few different angles. But Oxygen are taking their time. They don't want to do anything too crazy, get too aggressive, get caught off for no reason. Gonna take it a little bit slower and just re-clear all of A together. This massive trap in mid for Oxygen is just not going to bear any fruit.
That being said, A, I mean, left open for the taking. T-Dog, oh, the timing was beautiful. It got as much information as they needed. Quick rotation just being let out from Core. And now
30
Scuba's
seconds
about to
left.
get handed with the biggest slap of their life when it comes to it, but they're not. They still jiggle peek the angle and find one.
A bit risky, gets the one, gets the smoke down. Good post-plant positions now for Oxygen with a Redux on the top box in sight. Scuba picking up the link. 2 players in elbow here, ready to fight for spawn. There's just no way in hell the Core can make this retake happen.
Okay, Mitch is still left alive, though, so they have the flash to pop out, though. The pain shells do such an amazing job at keeping that damage left down, though. And now forcing them to take the fight. Redux, beautiful. Fight isolation still happening as well. And Core can't even get the defusal. Once again, the defense struggling so heavily to just somehow find themselves back onto the site.
And it is a lot of damage done, actually, which does seem relevant enough if we check in on the Oxygen economy here. So at the very least, you know, Core will take that. And now heading into this round with 4 ultimates, they have the Hunter's Fury and the Rolling Thunder. So they could certainly find a good timing with that. You know, in a pre-take kind of situation, perhaps, where the Oxygen team are trying to get the spike down and then you hit them with the Rolling Thunder. Or just for a full retake too. But they are going to have this 3-person setup here on A again. And depending on the timing, Oxygen may run into that late. Redux is working mid. But most of their players are going to have to deal with Nerve and T-Dog here.
Okay, Nerve. Nice one-way smoke. But all they have to do is wait for the time. If anything, there isn't too much of a need to rush. Oh, Nerve was taking his time there, and I'm not going to lie, that did give me a bit of anxiety waiting for them to just swing around the corner. Still set back, though. Hunter's Fury making its way in beautiful 2k damage.
What?
Where was the other one?
I couldn't even tell. I didn't even see that there was a second guy in it. What? Was he just like perfectly in the distance behind him, doing the same rotation? I couldn't even tell. What? Hold on, we just got to see the replay of that. I mean, that's crazy.
Oh my god.
Just the intuition on that. I mean, they knew they were walking up A, but god damn, that is crazy. And listen, again, that's why sometimes when you feel like a god on a certain agent, even if it's not the theoretical best one, I mean, yeah, I think he was just, what? That was so weird. I mean, okay.
It's just, the homies are they're just always in sync. I guess either way, I mean, big dubs for T-Dog. Like, that was beautiful Hunter's Fury. Oxygen timing out after that one.
That's a good time to do a timeout, too, because you know they are mad as hell off that. It breaks their economy, too, because of all the damage in the last round with the Sheriffs, and then you just lose 2 to a random Hunter's Fury mid-round, and now you're on Eco. You've already lost the first map to Core, a map that, in Oxygen's minds, you know they should just be taking this 2-0, you know, dusting it off. Easy last win for them in week 5. And here you have Core running Sova on 2 maps where you rarely ever see him. And they're farming you with it. I mean, this is just, that was a good time for a timeout. The deep breath. Oh, let's get back into this thing from there. Fast little play onto A, taking elbow quite quickly. It's really just T-Dog here in a passive position, so they should be able to get the spike down. And then we're going to have a full retake from Core, who still have that Rolling Thunder online.
Keeping some hope in their heads for obviously the last round that didn't go too well. Yeah, smoke is gone, and I felt like that was giving them some pretty good coverage, but it's safe to just eliminate Redux off the rip as they try to get this one through. One-way smoke not necessarily working, but regardless gives absolutely no space for Oxygen to do anything about anyone. 4 to 5 to 4. Core just absolutely dominating, especially with the op pull up from Zeldris, which is going to be pretty interesting moving forward.
Worth celebrating.
Yeah, smooth retake for sure. That initial pick gives Sif the ability to pop his ult. They get the info, Rolling Thunder. They just flood in together, make it look easy. Yeah, as you mentioned, Zeldris has that op. It looks like he's going to go ahead and post up, take a close angle in B main. And then in case, you know, they do fight close range where the op is obviously terrible, he can just take out the showstopper, pop that ultimate. So he's feeling comfortable to have this op right now to, you know, play a close, little bit more dangerous angle if necessary. And we'll have a nerve over on B as well. T-Dog sending in a deep initial, or wait, I missed that. That wasn't a recon. Hold on. I'm seeing things.
Oh,
Where is everyone hiding?
Just gets caught, and the ult gets popped, and now they know there's no one on A, and the site is free.
yeah.
That is tough. There was no ability to get a trade off of that pick.
I love the ult spam from Dapper too. Just really wanting to see where these players are.
Powerless.
Even then, I mean,
Right here.
free information as to how, you know, this ends up being pretty free for itself. But yeah, already looking forward. Redux looking to take this away. And it's Scuba just waiting for this play to happen. The TP comes through. They listen to it. That's beautiful.
Player standing.
And they, yeah, play pretty flawlessly, honestly.
And that's just all the credit to Dapper. Literally gets them a free round win with that opening pick and the ult. The absolute veteran on this team. Him and Mitch as well. And it's just a winning formula that we've seen for teams so many times. You bring in a couple, very experienced players, surround them with some really young, talented players, which does include Scuba as well. Another guy that for some reason has just never been able to get a place on a tier 1 team, even though at many moments in the past few years, it seemed like he absolutely should have been. And has just been performing so well on Oxygen. But yeah, it's all Dapper there. So Operator recovered. It's going to be passed over to Zeldris again. Wasn't able to make it work in the previous round. We'll see where he opts to post up this time. How they're going to set up around it. It's going to take an angle through market into mid, it looks like. Just hold for someone to walk up mid tiles.
Mitch is looking to pull up with some problems. Okay, Redux making a couple of his own. Wow. Like, just off the rip. And maybe this might be the play. Just have Redux go full in. And just demolish anybody that's within way. Already making another one too. So First Blood's working out in favor of the team of Oxygen, but still having to look for more. Of course, absolutely not a lot of util to use. They could use Nerf's Paranoia. Really push for something else as well, but up to them.
Yeah, Nerf got a pick on the flank, and he's trying to figure out where he wants to go. Gonna smoke off main.
Wow.
There's other players to walk out, but Redux is just gonna absolutely tear everyone apart in this round. Oh my god.
Dude, the reaction time to the flashes too. Just instant turn. Now, yeah, Nerv is just like, there's no way I'm fighting this. Redux is an absolute demon, but it doesn't matter. It's still up to the 4K. And they run away with that. Honestly, I'd be proud of that regardless of that 6-5.
Last round in the half.
That's the kind of stat padding you like to see. I love that for Nerv. I love that for him when he checks VLR later. But what can you say? I mean, that is just a Redux round through and through. That initial pick, too, a really cool setup with that double satchel down mid, and then the fault line from Verno comes through into market, gets the stun onto Zeldris. My man Zeldris is having a sad time with this operator. He's not going to have it in this round because they all died. Maybe for the best. Doesn't seem like he's having much luck with it. Time to go back to the rifle.
It truly is sad times. The dream is dead, but the game isn't. Seeming like maybe the B site is as well. Yeah, especially with this original push coming through from Redux. And, you know, the trips don't even make a lot of impact either. Really just trying to catch them when they're off guard to allow Ziff some sort of shot through, which obviously doesn't work out. Tons of space just being kept on the extremities as well.
Now we have that drone to reclear. A Paranoia used as well, just in case anyone from Oxygen was pushed up, but they are not. Full 5-on-5 retake coming through now. Aftershock to clear another position. These players are all relegated from Oxygen into main. Redux the only one taking a different angle.
And yeah, shots are just wanting to be expended outward, but they're just not able to find anyone. Zeldris making the shots happen, and it is beautiful. 3K just pulled out of nowhere, and maybe Verno.
Oh my god!
A beautiful ace.
What the hell? I mean, I was about to sing Zeldris praises, and you should, and I was about to be like, oh, see, you shouldn't have given him the op. He's so crazy with the rifle, but oh my god, that was wild. That smoke in main just fading at the perfect time. 9 bullets, the transfer. Oh my
Dude, Verno literally
god.
just raised his eyebrows. That was the reaction.
He's got the another day at the office reaction. The classic gamer non-react to a pop-off where you're too cool for it. You're like, yeah, I do this every time. It's like, all right, buddy. You get excited. It's okay.
Literally eyebrow raised. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Definitely walking away from that one with the ego so high, which rightfully so. That was beautiful.
Trying to catch my breath here a little bit. Into the pistols, Ziff just applying a little bit of pressure towards A, while the rest of the team gonna execute into the B side, basically take this thing for free. Ziff wanted to find a pick on the rotate, but that's going to allow a 5-on-4 retake now for Core, who are getting really aggressive off a Paranoia.
That is a loud classic, and everybody hears it. They know, you know, where to look, if anything. Nerf, oh man, left alone. Kind of backed off there. It's so interesting, too, how they just chose to fight that alone. But you still got 4 players left on the side of Oxygen. Yeah, now, I mean, honestly, nobody to really tell the tale of what just happened in this first half. Beautiful pistol round coming through from Oxygen.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that ace clutch from Verno has just woken this team the hell up and they're going to just pop off from here. That's the kind of moment that can just entirely change the vibe of a team. And I have a feeling it's about to do just that.
Yep.
And we'll see if Core can just end that entire little narrative that I'm stringing along by forcing up here and just winning one right back. They have full committed to this.
I think it's capable, possible for Core. B is like literally so empty for the taking. If they don't get this, I genuinely would be surprised, especially since there is a judge being held by Scuba. So the range isn't there. All right, well, I mean, Entry finds itself, Dapper having to back themselves off, and that's great. So they managed to get the site. They don't even know that they have bought, but Scuba's still stuck inside of that smoke. Definitely poses a problem.
Zelda's pushing up deep now. Is anyone going to be there to fight with him? Yeah, Nerve wants to.
Yeah, but is it a good idea? Maybe not. They're still trying to fight this with the Outlaws. So close. Everybody just peeked the angle. They could have just held it. They had the plant down, waiting to stall for some of that time. So much util readily available, and a flash just left for Mitch. So now even then, Oxygen can just push this one out, waiting for, some sort of sage here.
Timing.
Beautiful shot's already done. And they know all they need to do is just make sure to keep Mitch off of this positioning. But even then, timing
doesn't matter. He didn't get to half.
There.
He had an opportunity to get to half. He just missed it by a hair. And because of that, they're going to go down to the 4 spy. That is so tough. The retake was looking so good as well. And now look at this. Economy absolutely boomed here. And yeah, like you were saying, they just completely staved off that effort from Core to try and push deep into the site towards their spawn to catch them out. And just getting that fault line back up in time at the very last moment for Snarly was pivotal. Redux does have an ult in this round, so maybe there will be some timing where he can turn things around, get an eco here. Eco win for Oxygen, that is.
Oxygen are slaying the game. Looking for something more, too. Even out of that. So yeah, big trip, just watching the flank. Okay, huge shots already set down on Mitch. And everybody else rotating off at Oxygen are not playing around when it comes down to timing. They know they need to continue kind of flourish with these rounds.
Boombot gets that info on Mitch. They hear him running away, and they are trying to catch up fast. I mean, this nade shouldn't be the end of it. And the shock. Oh, my God. Yeah, Mitch gets absolutely bogged. The rest of Oxygen have rotated here really fast, though. And Core suspect it. Look at how they're slowing this down now. Nerve on the opposite end of the map. They're just going to work back towards him.
That's huge. They just baited a rotate. They got a free pick out of it as well. Although my biggest worry is Redux kind of planning themselves with that showstopper. That's going to have such a big impact on getting that, re-entry through. The only thing that I can see countering that is maybe Snarly here, but safe with beautiful shots already being led into taking Dapper out as well. Now slowly looking for something else, but a big re-navigation coming through. Oxygen looking for that entry.
Yeah, overstaying his welcome a little bit as if kind of hoping he could just get another 1v1 eco kill, but Oxygen hard punish him for that. It's a good re-clear from them for sure.
Yeah, the moment that smoke dissipates, Scuba's going to be left all alone. And everybody's so scattered, which, all in itself is surprising, but I'm assuming they're just waiting for, that exit frag, especially since they don't have a lot to work with in general. We're going to see if they can demolish some of that economy coming through, but nice shots already set down from Zeldris. He's just looking to clear. It doesn't matter. Core, they set themselves up for the round, and they found success.
Scuba going to go down to the spike to get this buy into the next round. Couple Spectres, Bulldog, Guardian on the side of Core, who are on the verge of tying this back up. Which was off the back of that really great Force round win in the previous after losing the pistol. Now with a chance, I suppose you can consider this a bonus round. It's basically a bonus, it's happening one round later. And they are set up for a fast play onto A, recon to go into elbow, which Redux is going to have to break. So he's not going to have an opportunity to play off any breach utility, which it looks like they wanted to set him up for.
Yeah, no setup there, but already Boombot coming out.
My ult is ready.
just to kind of counter the other. Which is surprising because they already knew at that point that there were people there. I'm not sure what damage would have actually come from that, but all in all, maybe just trying to keep that push coming back from Zeldris.
He's just going to hold this space and elbow. The rest of the team playing a bit more passive. Just waiting back, cutting noise here. Making sure that if there is a mid push, they'd catch them there at the door. And now T-Dog's setting up for a lineup to go into backside, it looks like. Well, the rest of the team is just going to slowly move forward here.
Okay, well, reality starts to set in, especially, dude, Redux is just getting hit with everything. Showstopper gets pulled out, but Redux can't even get past 1 inch of just the original standing that they were in. So now you got Verno having to try to fight this back. Of course, they leap out with 1, but Core still having a huge advantage into this round. I think here if Mitch honestly wants to play with Dapper with a pop flash to push through, this could honestly be the difference that needs to be made. The suppression's still available, but they don't use anything. They don't wait for the util, but it's not needed. Dapper, huge shots already being played down to that entry. You got a 2v2 scenario, and the weapon's still not working in favor, but 5 health left on Dapper, and a huge play from Core.
What a wild round from Core. I mean, that is... Again, what we were talking about, it's like the shades of Calm on Fracture, where you're just getting hit by some crazy ult that you never get hit by. The timing on that from T-Dog is so cool because he just launches the recon back sight and then pops his ult. So the second the recon hits, which, by the way, no one is going to be ready to break a recon Sova backside sunset. So it's going to get a ping. He has his ult popped at the same time it's pinging someone. That is so cool and nerdy, and gets them the first pick, which they're then able to work off of to take the site, win the bonus. This team is doing some really cool stuff right now. Really enjoyable to watch. They have leveled up.
It's literally just Zeldris. Like, what is he doing? He's just running it down. And it's so nice because it just ends up working for the best. Honestly, big util diff too, because I feel like Snarly's just applying so much pressure with the fault line in addition to literally everything else being thrown out. Nerve now, everyone able to find every single player in a matter of seconds. Oxygen, need oxygen. They cannot breathe.
They're just trying to swing so fast, take the fights together, and I mean, you can't be mad at that in that situation, but Core are just so ready for it. They're all posted up. They have the better weapons. They've now taken the lead on the map, 9-8. Oxygen getting their full buy-in here. They have a null command to work with, so if there's a situation where Zeldris pops his showstopper, you could see Mitch just press his ultimate button to take the rocket away from him. A little bit of a counter play there. How do Core want to approach this? They're going to send in a recon mid, doesn't get broken. Smoke top mid gets the info as well. And now Oxygen have to be worried that they could be walking up, and it's going to be a little delayed, but it seems like they're going to elect to do just that.
Running away from already making so much noise in mid, and that kind of redirects some of that attention too, which I do genuinely like the play Core are trying to set up for here.
Shock Dart going to be used to break one of those tripwires, break both of them actually. So now Dapper has nothing to play off of on B. You can see him now, he's like, oh god, I just have to keep jiggling this for info. He's got nothing. And now in the meantime,
Here.
working back towards A is T-Dog. A stun sent out as well. Droning to fake. Rotates are now being drawn over from Oxygen in spawn. And they're going to work back towards B here. Zeldris exploding out with a showstopper. What a round so far from Core.
If anything, this is the exact way you want to re-push and reapply yourself onto site. They already had so much space taken up on B, and now they just get it for free again because of the showstopper pressure. Yeah, okay, Dapper manages to pick away one, but now they have to continue this. Finding Ziff on that lurk, definitely huge. Now they've eliminated that flank, so up to Core now to try to revert this. Of course, we've seen it before. Big plays coming through from Core when it comes down to, just the pressure that needs to be applied, but huge flash already coming through. They whipped a little bit, but it's up to Nerf to keep it. Still looking to eliminate the person on the spike, but it just does not seem to work out. Regardless, Oxygen really, really smart way to win the fight there, especially utilizing those flashes to give themselves that advantage.
Discipline at the end there from Oxygen, not even trying to chase down Nerve. They want to keep those guns online, keep their economy building for the, you know, the tail end of this game here. That was a fantastic round from Core in terms of working the map, but when it came down to it on the gun duels on B, it's just those talented Oxygen players keeping them in check. Dapper in that smoke. Now onto this round. All of Core gathered up towards B. Dapper's got his eyes on it with the cam. And it looks like we're just going to be getting a full exec here. Drone getting some information. Rolling Thunder could be popped here as well from Snarly.
Okay. I thought there Zeldris might have won the fight, but the flash comes in a bit too late. It would have been a beautiful play with some sort of cohesion there. Gets pulled back early. And of course, the big Rolling Thunder just to push this team back. Oxygen somehow just continue to find these fights and win them out. 4v3, now the impatience from Core might be the reason why this team kind of gets pulled back into reality.
Door closed, don't have to worry about the flank. T-Dog with so much pressure on him. On site, wins the first duel against Mitch.
Oh, they're still continuing. It doesn't matter. Verno still manages to push themselves up, but then again, you have two players still stuck on the extremities. They've seen this time and time again. Oxygen know where this team is hiding. The difference is no paranoia to play with this. Of course, Boombot set out, but it doesn't matter. Already damaged by Snarly. And I'm hoping they bait Snarly out for this moment, but it would have been beautiful. 30 health left. They could have peeked on the other side. Both players just taking in some sort of advantage. It seems like Snarly just running away from the situation, not wanting to go any further.
No, just so weak. Gonna save the rifle. Their economy is really good, Core. They can just keep buying up into this over and over here. Redux again, just on the 10 spot, keeps getting kills. That's like 2 rounds in a row. I think he's been able to get a pick there and hasn't been punished just yet. But you have to imagine after that, Core are going to be very concerned. Now, T-Dog has a Hunter's Fury up again, and I want to see if he's going to do some kind of crazy stuff over on B now where they're gathered up.
Yeah, we're just waiting to set some sort of example. I'm surprised they kind of quit, you know, on the really quick entry, which obviously is happening again, so it doesn't matter. Now the biggest issue is just keeping that in hand, because we've seen the retakes happen from Oxygen. It's been extremely strong. Now just trying to take out the extremities and apply that pressure would be perfect for Core, but Hunter's Fury comes out from T-Dog, and this is what we've been missing. The potential for more. Scuba very, very low to the point where it doesn't matter. Snarly takes another one in as well. You have majority of these players just fighting for the outskirts of sight and still able to possibly win one. There's no way. Rolling Thunder still set out. Now you got the flash out as well. The defusal still happening, and it doesn't matter. T-Dog still manages to keep this team alive, but it's up to Dapper to make even more happen. Oxygen just clutching, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw an eyebrow raise from Dapper either.
That is ridiculous from the veteran Dapper. The Iceland winner. God damn, what a 1v3. That's a 1v, I don't know. I don't think it was a pure 1v5, but the 1v5 basically ace from Verno, 1v3 from Dapper, both on the B site, similar situation. It's always that action in B main. Oh my god, what a fast shot onto Snarly there. Insane. How can you trade this guy when he's just got a aimbot locked onto your head the second you swing? Redux is just losing his mind in the middle of that. That is a crazy play, though. Core with a free sight. Just not able to convert that into the round win. Oxygen, goddamn, they're making some miracles happen to get back in the lead in this game, to maintain a place in this game.
This is like, feels like a fight to the death. Like, man, and Core just continue to go B, which I feel like is just the biggest punishment of all. There's no creativity in the plays that we've been seeing so far. It's just full send it, full send it, full send it. It'll work one day. Which then again needs to be, you know, some sort of different creative claws, or maybe even just farming the orbs to find an ultimate. But yeah, definitely looking for a different approach here.
Whenever they're working towards B, they're never sending someone on a late market lurk. They keep fighting forward deep sight and trying to fight into the spawn, or at least like past pillar, and that's just never working for them. I think on one of these, if they just play it a little bit more passively, don't try to push spawn and work a late flank, they could find some more success. Wow, great catch on Mitch, waiting for that smoke to dissipate. 5 on 4 now.
Yeah, exactly what they needed. The thing is that QOR is fully capable of winning out their fights. They just didn't want to fight for map control. They wanted to fight for site control, which, all in all, you have 10% of the map, and everybody else can just literally demolish you in seconds, which now, change starting to be seen, but having to keep their focus on that flank, especially now as Scuba tries to fight themselves up towards A.
Getting a lot of valuable information here. Needs to clear that corner after the smoke fades, and we'll find out that no one is here. That TP is heard from Snarly, though. And look at the reaction from QOR. They are ready to go deal with Scuba in the back line.
Stay down.
Scuba, man, gets caught on the lurk, and that's going to be huge.
30 seconds left.
Bruno's kind of left alone in an awkward position here. Yep, and the timing is beautiful. They don't even know. The call-up coming in, I mean, possibly a bit too late. There should have been a quick turnaround as to knowing what was happening there. Seems like 2-player rotation already coming along, and QOR potential for that 10-11.
Yeah, that was a pretty weak defense. It just folded over. Scuba trying to make a play to even things up when they were down 5v4, but super risky. QOR just immediately respond, catch him out, convert this into an easy round win. 10-11 now on the board. Headed into this next round, crucial that the rifles are saved here actually for Oxygen. And Zeldris knows that. He wants to hunt.
No, this is good. I like the cheeky angle. Honestly, I think this will work out so huge in favor of Redux, but now position, regardless, given away. No one's going to chase that, though. Just pretty chill. If anything, Zeldris was just thirsty for the win. Just thirsty for the picks to boost up their ego and possibly their stats.
This round could be the game on the line right now. Looking at Oxygen's economy, Scuba on a 0, a couple players less than 1,000. Absolutely crucial for Oxygen that they take this round right here, or QOR have a serious opportunity to get 12 on the board. Zeldris with a showstopper in a position to double satchel.
Yeah, but we've left the one-way smoke just there. Oh my gosh, Zeldris just scares me sometimes, and the beauty of it all is just this whole entire play. The fault line being prepped to give Zeldris some space and just coming out of thin air. Beautiful.
Yeah, I said double satchel, but obviously he just had one because he had to satchel up on there. How the hell does Redux get out of that? But they're trying to just contact ring clear this. They get flashed and swung on. Verno has so much to do, and one isn't enough. 4 on 3. Headed into this A site. Link is going to get smoked off. Now getting into the site is Mitch, in position to come up huge. He's got to get something done here. He's going to get one and live. That's enough. Flash to delay. A paranoia comes in for a swing off, but it actually hits him.
Just didn't even peek. Oh, they were paranoid as well. So even regardless of
One
position,
enemy remaining.
but you still have the classic making work, Mitch. Somehow, somewhere. Just did it.
30
He just did
seconds
it.
left.
And he's him. But it seems like regardless, Zeldris is just trying to make a wraparound happen. Man, and they had such a big advantage. Just running away with that one. Now Zeldris managing to find one of their own, and the rotation definitely looking as though Scuba's going to have to give into that one. The 13 seconds left. Is there enough time?
10
This
seconds
one's
left.
close, but he should be able to just make it, and he does. Knowing the timing, getting away from there into the one-on-one, really smart from Zeldris. Plant spot, a little awkward, but certainly can work off of that. Problem, of course, is if Scuba just sticks, he's going to have to sprint over there, make a ton of noise, and it'll be obvious where he's coming from.
Oh, Zeldris fell for it. Oh, but he
That's
doesn't
the thing is,
know.
yeah,
It's
he
not
has
his
to be so
planet.
worried. He's so concerned right now.
Oh, it's not even planet form regardless. Okay, but Scuba doesn't even care. Man, and it's so risky because the nade itself would have worked out, but it's such an interesting approach from Zeldris to just take a completely different angle. I mean, if anything, that would have been a beautiful, like, just sneaky clutch play from Scuba if he had just committed to that.
To sleep.
Yeah, absolutely. Zeldris' positioning there. He played that all so well until the very end. A good effort. But really, that round all comes down to Mitch. I mean, look at this. The peak doesn't get greedy, gets the flash back out. He even gets paranoid by his teammate accidentally and is still able to work around it. Find 2 more in the site. Not the player that's usually called upon on Oxygen to have a pop-off moment to keep in the game, but able to make it happen there.
Match point. Possibility for this to be the last round within this map. Definitely there. But again, the only real map control they have is, you know, just a mid-watch coming through from Zeph. But huge clear. I mean, possibility for it, at least 85 health, and they hear the noise. Trying to make some of the shots happen off that, but the B site has not been strong when it comes down to the hold and the post plant, but Ziv just eliminating these players before they can even make the save.
Scuba popped the paranoia on him as well, so they're not going to have it for the retake. Good positioning from Zeldris. Going to get 1, but goes down.
Somehow the paint shell didn't work out as it thought, but we've been in this before. We've continuously seen this happen, and the camp just set up to see where these players are. He's not going to be able to take it away. The paranoia to push back, but regardless, they have to fight somehow, and the flank coming in just a bit too late. The Fusel not there. They haven't even committed to it just yet, but it's Ziv looking to fight things. And now Dapper with some sort of set play. Halfway through, maybe a headshot could be committed, but it's Oxygen
so
fighting things to take things down to that 13-10.
Defenders
Well
win.
played from Oxygen. I mean, looking back at that map, a big part of the story for me is just, god damn, those players are sick individually. I mean, the Dapper 1v3 clutch, the Verno ace that went to, I don't know, 1v4, 1v3, something, I can't remember. But the point being, you got a crazy ace with a crazy spray transfer in the 1v2. That was sick. I mean, they really had to dig deep individually to win out some of those big moments. But certainly, teamwork-wise as well, it was a better performance than Lotus, for sure. So listen, we're on the crescendo right now. The question is if they can get even better on the last map, or if them being better here was just by virtue of it being their actual map pick. Because I still feel like we are not seeing Oxygen at their best right now. They're playing well, but they really needed some big moments to pull out that close victory.
I would have to agree. The play was well. I think also it could have just been a huge misread from just the side of QOR as well, because I do genuinely think they could have taken this game easily. And the biggest issue was that they just kept pushing they kept pushing the site that really was not working in favor for them. And then all in all, like, they literally could not do anything about it and kept getting stuck on the retake when, you know, Oxygen were really trying to push through with that. They just could not fight that, and they didn't understand that when it did work, it was when they had a bit more control over the outside of what was going on rather than the inside. But of course, we're going to get back to this. We have a lot more games to watch. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more NA Game Changers. I mean, Challengers. Don't quote me.
face.